What's going on, everybody? K to the 2 here with TBU Week 8. This week we are going up against Paul and the West Coast Wingulls. Now, Paul is one of my best friends here in the community, and we both decided that because we are the top two teams in our division, to not necessarily put our best foot forward, but also we still need to try and win this game, because the winner gets a first round bye in the playoffs. So it's kind of like this conflicting thing where we're like both trying to win but also not trying to reveal anything. So because of that, I'm going to have a little black box in the bottom left corner, not to reveal what investment I have on my Mons, in which case he would be able to calc exactly what my specified spreads are and whatnot. So that's going to be it. That's all I really have to say about the team. I'm not going to really go over exactly what I brought. I have Megazard X, Crocodile, stuff like that. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the match. Everything that I want to go over during the match is going to happen pretty much. Like all the sets are pretty much going to be talked about during the match, except for, you know, some things. So let's go ahead, hop right into the game. I decided to lead off with my Mega Charizard, as every time I come in with it, it gets a kill unless he is potentially Scarfed Hydreigon, which I can see being a thing. So I'm not overly worried if he leads off with it, because if he does, I know that he's going to be Scarfed. He wouldn't lead off with Hydreigon unless it is Scarfed. Knowing that I like to lead with my Mega Charizard in order to get off my Mega Evolution. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go straight in my Lickilicky. I don't care if he goes for U-turn. I can live 2 superpowers, whatnot. So I'm going to go into Lickilicky. He's going to go for Dragon Pulse. And, you know, that does damage. It definitely does damage. But not enough for him to really get rewarded for it, I guess. I don't know. So anyway, he's going to go into his Golurk here, and what I'm going to do is I am going to pull a double Scouting, just in case he wasn't Scarfed, just in case he was bluffing, to go into Crobat to see if he wanted to go for Superpower. So he does switch out. I know he's Scarfed, like my gut had said. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to U-turn out on the Golurk. Gonna go into my Reuniclus, knowing I can take a Dynamic Punch, because I knew that he would have Dynamic Punch. It's very good against my team, and confusing things is really nice. So right here I am at a good amount of health. I'm at about 90%, but it's not gonna matter because this thing has a Z move. So basically in TBU, anything can have a Z move as long as it's offensive, and it's it kind of sucks when you don't have any real indication as to which Mon will have a Z move, because then it just removes something from the game. So Never Ending Nightmare looks really cool, and a dead Reuniclus does not look very cool. So there goes Reuniclus. And now I'm going to go into my Breloom, and I'm going to force him out, and because I am forcing him out, I'm going to expect him to switch into Roserade, or I don't remember exactly what else would have come in. Potentially Scolipede or Jirachi. So I'm just going to go for the Stone Edge here, and because I do outspeed this, because he is max Fizz Def, as I could tell by that damage, I would expected him to possibly overpredict, click Sleep Powder, Stun Spore, get up a Spike or something like that. So I just stay in here and go for a second Stone Edge as he actually switches out of his Jirachi. Because I am Focus Sash here, I do not want my Sash to be broken, so I'm going to switch out against his Jirachi and go into Lickilicky. And basically he's going to U-turn here, and this is the part where Lickilicky, like looking at his team, he has a Sylveon, he has a Hydreigon, a Golurk, Roserade, Scolipede, and Jirachi. None of them have a super effective Z move that they can use against Lickilicky, because this thing had a Z move, which was Never Ending Nightmare. So what I can do is I can pretty much 1v1 the rest of his team. He's going to stay in here, he's going to go for Stealth Rocks. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get up a Wish in case he wanted to go for Dynamic Punch. And the only reason I'm staying in here with a Lickilicky against a Dynamic Punch no guard Golurk is the fact that I have own tempo rather than Oblivious. So I cannot get confused, and he's going to get pretty confused as to why I am staying in here pretty much. So I'm going to go for knockoff. I know he doesn't have Drain Punch because he has Dynamic Punch, so he's not going to be getting any health back. So right here, I'm just going to Wish again. Get up to a nice amount of health. He's got a Dynamic Punch, and this is the part where he sees that we are own tempo. We don't get confused. And he gets a nice amount of damage on us. We are going to be back in the green here, and with the amount of health that I have left, I'm not going to reveal exactly how much damage it did because he would be able to calc how much defense investment that I have. That was an absolute max roll that he got, and now we lose Lickilicky when it could have 1v1 this Golurk. It would have forced in his next best answer to Lickilicky, and looking at the team he brought, he didn't have a whole lot for it, and I could have just used Lickilicky to scout around his team. I would have been able to knock off any item on his team, really. Scout what they all had. Right here I go for Pursuit with Crocodile. It fails to kill. Unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. So he's gonna get off the Dynamic Punch, get the Confusion. And now I'm gonna have to try and break through Confusion. Anyway, back to the Lickilicky thing. Because it was an absolute max roll, that like really sucked. I stayed in because I didn't think he would try to 1v1 it, because he just did a little bit over 50%, and maybe he'd want to go into his next best thing for it. And because he did stay in, it kind of shows me that he didn't have a next best thing for it. And, you know, it's fine, because he doesn't really get to see a whole lot about my team. So, whatever. We are now in here. I had to choose something to sack to Scolipede. And Scolipede's going to get its speed boosts. And right here I'm going to go into my Crobat because I need to get off a Defog. And I know at this point that I've already lost the game because of the absolute max roll on Lickilicky. I'm just trying to get off a Defog to lower differential, because if I can... basically, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to defog away the rocks so then Breloom's Sash isn't broken and Zard is still at full health. So that's what I'm going for. He's going to go for Rock Slide here, and we get flinched, so we are going to lose this game by a much larger score than we absolutely should have. And it's alright, because we were guaranteed to be second place anyway, no matter what happened. Unless we won the game, of course, then we'd have a first round bye. But at this point in the match, I already knew that I was going to lose, so like I had nothing to gain. It didn't really matter. So he's going to end up picking up the 5-0 in this game, unless he is able to miss like a Mega Horn against my Breloom here. He still has Rocks up, and I would not be able to do enough to his team with my Charizard in order to take advantage of whatever he wants to go for. So he's going to go for Mega Horn, he's going to land it, and that's going to be the game. So, I'm done talking about this game. I have nothing else I want to say. We are heading into TBU playoffs. Next week we are going up against Bub. If we beat Bub, we get a second chance at Paul, and hopefully it's a much better result than this one. But I'm keeping my head up, not going to let myself get really tilted about this. It's just kind of unfortunate that we lost Lickilicky to the max roll 2 Dynamic Punch, but you know what, whatever. That's going to be the game. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like down on the video below, and I'll wait until the game is actually over, and then I'll say I'll see you guys next time. But yeah, if you enjoyed, leave a like on the video, and I will see you guys next time.